Hello and welcome to The Top Story, the podcast with the headlines of the day from our correspondents around the world. I'm Qizhi. Coming up in this edition, residents in a New Hampshire town are the first to vote on the US election day. Storms in Spain that caused mass damage in Valencia have moved north and caused flooding in Barcelona. And the 7th edition of a Global Import Expo, the CIIE, has opened in Shanghai, attracting a record number of exhibitors. We begin in America. Residents of a town in New Hampshire have cast the first votes in the U.S. presidential election on Tuesday. The two presidential candidates made their final campaign pushes on the eve of the election. Kamala Harris vied for 19 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump planned 4 rallies across 3 states, starting in North Carolina, continuing with 2 stops in Pennsylvania, and ending in Michigan. It is Tianzhan has more from Los Angeles.
Both candidates are holding multiple events on their final day of campaigning in a last-minute effort to convince voters. Vice President Kamala Harris kept her focus on Pennsylvania on Monday, holding rallies in Allentown, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia. And it's not just Kamala Harris, but her opponent, Donald Trump. They have both spent a considerable amount of time in this state in the last few weeks. In fact, Trump also made an appearance in Pittsburgh on Monday evening. That's before he moved on to his final event in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It will be a very interesting moment to see how it will play out this time around, as Michigan remains yet another critical battleground state for this race. Finally, it's important to note that early voting numbers have now reached 81 million mark, according to the University of Florida Election Lab, and polls suggest that the race is still exceptionally close.
It is Tianshan reporting. In South America, Bolivian soldiers and police have cleared a major highway blockaded for 3 weeks. Supporters of former President Evo Morales have been blocking roads around his central stronghold of Cochabamba since prosecutors launched an investigation into him for rape. Morales denied the charges, calling them a political ploy by his successor, President Luis Arce, to prevent him from returning to power. Monica Machico has more from La Paz.
The Bolivian Defense Ministry has labeled the violent and armed takeover of 3 military units in El Chapare as a grave crime against democracy. It's predominantly controlled by coca leaf farmers aligned with former President Evo Morales. Bolivia's government said that they have encircled barracks housing over 200 individuals, including military personnel, support staff, and also families. Independent reports confirm that these barracks are surrounded by hundreds of coca growers. Sources close to Morales describe the situation as a peaceful vigil. However, Bolivian government officials have classified the siege as a criminal act. Tensions are escalating in Bolivia, where the ongoing blockade has resulted in losses exceeding $2 billion. The root of the conflict lies within the governing party, the movement towards socialism, as a power struggle unfolds between current President Luis Arce and former President Evo Morales. Morales is currently facing serious allegations of rape and human trafficking in both Bolivia and Argentina. He is right now in a hunger strike just a few kilometers away from the seized barracks.
That is Monica Machico reporting on the unrest in Bolivia. In Europe, storms in Spain that caused mass casualties and damage in Valencia have moved north and caused flooding in Barcelona. Spain's airport operator cancelled or diverted dozens of flights after a rainstorm. A terminal roof sprang a leak under heavy pounding. Municipal authorities have closed highways and schools. Meanwhile, in Valencia, residents are assessing the damage and cleaning up. Ken Brown spoke with a Chinese couple running a business in Chiva.
Days after the disaster, the words still don't come. Lee and her family have lived in Spain for more than 20 years. but a lifetime's work washed away in just a few hours. The river rising and destroying their 1,000-meter hardware shop.
Mi familia, mi trabajador.
My family, our staff, 7 of us in total. If we didn't have stairs to the roof, we'd have drowned in here. It isn't easy for Chinese people here. We come and we work so hard. Then we see everything we've worked for just taken away like that. We have a phrase in Chinese. It means unity is strength. So many people have come to help, to ask how we are. I just say a big thanks to all of them.
Chiva has rallied around a strong sense of community, and dozens of volunteers have come to the shop to help. Her husband Jiang is devastated but thankful.
People have been so good. They've helped so much. People have come from outside Chiva, from outside Valencia, so many people. Spanish people are good people. Look how many have come to help. Great people.
Sergio Pin has been using his tractor to help clear homes and businesses for days.
This Chinese family belongs to the town, just like the Arabic families and everyone else here. They're part of the community and we have to help them, always.
Further downriver, the scale of the disaster is clear. The torrent rushed down from the town of Chiva. The town was completely cut off, and in those opening hours, the community became first responders, saving lives. Now the Spanish Weather Agency has issued an extreme danger warning for Catalonia. Torrential rain has caused travel chaos and forced many flights to be delayed or cancelled. Back in Valencia, the cleanup from Spain's deadliest disaster in a lifetime looks set to take months, even years.
That was Ken Brown in Spain. In Asia, Chinese Premier Li Qiang has reiterated China's commitment to openness amid uncertainties within the global context. He highlighted China's efforts to support trade as he addressed the opening ceremony of the China International Import Expo in Shanghai.
When it comes to promoting and expanding opening up, China has all along honored its commitments. We have fully delivered the pledges made when joining the WTO, reducing our overall tariff to 7.3%, which is even lower than the set target of 9.8%. We have followed through on all the opening up measures announced at the previous 6 CIIEs, including the recent step to remove all restrictions on foreign investment access in the manufacturing sector as promised. The third plenum of the 20th CPC Central Committee held last July rolled out a series of reform measures to expand high-level opening up. The Chinese government is operationalizing these decisions into specific tasks, work assignments, and division of responsibilities to ensure sound implementation of each and every item.
The Premier proposed that countries honor their promises and follow international trade and economic rules for peace and development. Also at the CIIE, Commerce Minister Wang Wentao welcomed guests and reviewed the Expo's journey over the past 6 years.
The CIIE has traversed 6 years of extraordinary journey and actively played out our 4 main functions as a platform of international procurement, investment promotion, cultural exchanges, and openness and cooperation. It became a window of China building a new development paradigm, a platform to promote high-standard opening up, and an international public good enjoyed by the world and welcomed by the international community. We have carried forward the theme of New Era and Shared Future, the aim of which is to expand mutual opening up across countries and regions and to inject new opportunities and momentums for mutually beneficial cooperation.
With more on the event and reactions from exhibitors, Dai Kai-yi reports from Shanghai.
Data shows that this year's event has attracted participants from 152 countries, regions, and international organizations. As many as 297 exhibitors from Fortune Global 500 companies and industry leaders are expected to attend the event, marking a series of milestones. This year's CIIE runs until November 10th and will host numerous sub-forums and activities, including the Hongqiao International Economic Forum.
The CIIE is an unbelievable platform that really allows global partners, global businesses, corporations, and innovation interests from all over the world to come to one place and see the vast opportunity that's available in China and to build relationships, collaborative relationships, innovation, new tech and new products, and really have those relationships engage in a way that facilitates both import mainly, but also export opportunities as well.
For myself, I think that the CIIE sets a tremendous opportunity and forum in terms of the possibilities that are actually occurring within China. And so for myself, I come here with a huge sense of expectation, anticipation, and actually positivity. We see government officials, we see companies, we see a lot of our customers, a lot of our suppliers, all getting together in one forum to talk about the possibility, the future, the challenges, and how we work together to solve them.
This year's CIIE is supporting 37 least developed countries, is providing them with support to establish national exhibition stalls and business exhibition areas. The area for African products at the Food and Agricultural Products exhibition has also been expanded. Hosting the China International Import Expo is an important step for China to further open up and to strengthen actions taken to build an open world economy. Since its first edition in 2018, the event has been upgraded and expanded into a window for China to forge a new development paradigm and to be a platform to advance high-level opening up.
That was Dai Kai on the Global Import Expo in Shanghai. In the Middle East, health authorities in Gaza have reported injuries among patients and medical staff after Israeli forces bombarded the only partially functioning hospital in the north. Israel has banned the World Health Organization and other medical missions from reaching the hospital, while attacks continue throughout Gaza. Rami Almagari has more.
So what is being reported for the time being is that Israeli army actions hit various parts of the Gaza Strip, including Rafah, Khan Yunis, Nusayrat in central Gaza Strip, Al-Burej, tank shells, as well as the northern Gaza Strip, which is already under intensive Israeli military actions or operations over there. In terms of the food situation, prices are getting very high, unbearable for the population, to the extent that some families, some extended families, leaders of those families have agreed that no stand vegetable, fruit or any other to be in the street unless the prices get lower than they are, because of the fact that very limited quantities of shipment are coming in or getting in the Gaza Strip for the past couple of days. It was reported that 80 truckloads of assistance and some truckloads of commercial goods have entered that territory, which is inadequate at all for the population. Now the people are looking forward to the improvement of their economic situation, food situation here in the Gaza Strip, with the entry of more shipments of commercial goods or humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. But the situation is desperate in terms of the high prices, lack of foods, lack of vegetables, lack of fruits, and lack of many food items right here, particularly in the southern parts of the Gaza Strip.
That was Rami Almagari on the humanitarian situation in Gaza. Now, recapping the headlines, residents in a New Hampshire town have cast the first ballot as soon as voting in the US presidential election opened on Tuesday. Storms in Spain that caused mass damage in Valencia have moved north and caused flooding in Barcelona. And the 7th China International Import Expo has opened in Shanghai, attracting nearly 3,500 exhibitors from 129 countries and regions. And that's it for this edition of The Top Story, a podcast that brings you world headlines every weekday. For more news in politics, business, sports and culture, you can subscribe to The Beijing Hour, a one-hour podcast news magazine program. We welcome and appreciate all ratings and reviews. I'm Qi Zhi. Thank you for listening.